Hello my fellow readers. In this video I'm going to talk about two books by Kyoko Okazaki, and they are Pink and Helter Skelter. So let's go with Helter Skelter, Fashion Unfriendly first. This one is really kind of the look at the dangers of, you know, what we put up for looks and fashion standard. So in this case, we have supermodel Liliko, who is our main representative for the dark side of this celebrity. We learned that Liliko has had like full body plastic surgery. She looks nothing like the girl she was, who she was born. We don't see her that way, but we get kind of a feel throughout the book because she does at one point meet her sister, who looks absolutely nothing like her. And Liliko says to her sister, like, you could look just like me if you undergo this procedure. And yeah, how to explain this? So essentially throughout the book, like, Liliko is trying to hang on to her looks and her celebrity. There are times where, like, she literally, like, starts to fall apart. Like, she develops cracks in, like, her scalp and everything, and she has to, like, rush to the plastic surgeon for, like, this special treatment. And yeah, she's just desperate to hang on to it, and feels threatened because, like, there's younger, like, models coming in, and, you know, then suddenly the focus is more on them. She doesn't really have a solid romantic relationship either. She'll essentially, like, sleep around in order to have roles and keep and maintain celebrity. At one point, the main guy that she sort of sees actually ends up, like, engaged to somebody else, and so there's a lot of betrayal there. Yeah, it is a messed up world. In the meantime, too, there's a side portion of the story where people are investigating what turns out to be Liliko's doctors, because as it turns out, they're actually doing a lot of illegal operations in order to keep people looking this way. So it's not stuff they should be doing on people. It's all, like, test stuff. And while it might semi-work, it's not really the path that they should be taking. But again, it also shows, like, the desperation and the things that people who are wealthy and relying on their looks for celebrity, it shows the lengths that they'll go in order to keep that. It's just kind of a disturbing look at humanity. And I think that when you read it, yes, it's fiction, and yes, there's extreme portrayals in it. But at the same time, if you think about our celebrity, it rings pretty true in a very scary way. And I've just very much enjoyed this. And I'm glad I picked it up. I think I mentioned in another video, I've been looking for some of the more, like, mature and a lot of times shorter works, just to enjoy a broader scope of what I'm reading. And this was definitely an enjoyable pickup. They were hoping to have more in this series, but the author, if I remember that I'm reading correctly, yeah, so this was a long time ago, but I don't think they ever did continue it. But after the serialization of this portion ended in May 1996, the author was struck by a drunk driver, and whenever they wrote this, it must have been 2003, there's a little note here, she was still in rehabilitation. And there wasn't a lot of editing done to the work before the printing of this. I think they were hoping to have a better version, like better editing and everything done, but I don't know that that ever happened. I don't know if they ever updated the status of like what was going on. I'm not sure, but either way, I would recommend picking up Fashion Unfriendly, Helter Skelter, and giving it a read. It's available from Vertical Comics. And the other story is Pink. And this is all complete in here. And this this story kind of tore out my heart. I was thinking like, oh, you know, this is so weird. But then it made me sad. I saw it coming, but it made me sad. So this tells the story of Yumi. It's our main character there. And Yumi is an office lady who also just happens to moonlight as a call girl because she is trying to afford enough food to keep her pet crocodile, Croc, full. So that, you know, like he doesn't eat her. So she's desperate for money. Of course, you're probably like, why does she have a pet crocodile? Well, it turns out that Yumi is actually from a fairly wealthy family and got the crocodile as a pet. However, she has left her home because her mother, I believe, died, and her father remarried, and she just doesn't get along too well with her stepmother. Long story short, she's sort of like the step monster portrayal. Now, she does have a half-sister who's younger than her that she does get along with. She does like her half-sister. And at one point, early on, her half-sister comes and visits her and informs her that she thinks that her mother is keeping a man on the side. So Yumi, being not a huge fan of the stepmother, goes to investigate, finds out who the young man is, and decides to kind of get involved in this situation. So she like introduces herself to the young man, and I don't know, the two of them, and in part along with the younger sister, just form this weird trio of people along with the crocodile, who does for the most part seem to get along with the young man a lot. Like he doesn't immediately, you know, bite off his face or anything. And just what follows is this very, it's kind of funny, but then also weird and with bits of emotional and sad parts story. Because things could be so different for Yumi and for everyone if there wasn't this huge tension, obviously, between the stepmom and Yumi. But also, like, Yumi's dealing with a lot of, like, psychological things. So she thinks about how, like, she keeps Croc as a pet, and her stepmother was keeping the young man. I'm like, what's his name? Haru? Yeah, Haru. Was keeping, like, Haru as a pet, and then how really her stepmother was also being kept as her father's pet. I don't know. She just thinks like there's this whole like twisted, complex reality. And so I don't know. They're very interesting. I will say that when the mother finds out about Yumi and Haru forming this friendship and maybe more than friendship, she does get very mad and actually takes like revenge on Yumi in a very, I didn't like it. I didn't like what happened. I didn't like it. Just very twisted way. And then, yeah, some other stuff happens. I'll just stare into space because I don't want to think about it and I can't give it away. It's a very short story, quick read. So if you're looking for something a little different that also has like more grown-up appeal, you could try either Pink or Helter Skelter Fashion Unfriendly, or like I did, read them both. They're really good. Again, both are from Vertical Comics. Should be available now. You know, other than if there's, you know, back ordered from publication issues. That is it for this video. Until next time, bye.